I get it. You're staring at a list of high-end laptops, trying to decide if any of them are actually worth your hard-earned cash, especially when you want something that can run the latest games but also handle long work sessions. You've probably heard promises about pro-level speed and vibrant visuals, but you're wondering if those buzzwords translate into real-world performance or just marketing fluff. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and I'm here to break down whether this Dell 2026 16-inch touchscreen laptop lives up to the hype for someone who games and works on the go. First off, let's talk about the heart of the machine, the 10-core Intel Core i7-1355U. It's part of Intel's U series, which is built for thin and light laptops that need to balance power and efficiency. In practice, that means you'll see a quick boot, snappy app launches, and smooth multitasking when you have 32 GB of DDR5 RAM and a 1 TB SSD under the hood. For day-to-day task spreadsheets, video calls, even some light photo or video editing, it feels instant. The real test, though, is how it behaves once you fire up a modern AAA title. When you launch something like Cyberpunk 2077 or Elden Ring at 1080p, the i7-1355 you can definitely push a frame rate that's playable, but you shouldn't expect it to stay above 60 frames per second on ultra settings. Dropping the texture quality a notch or two, or turning off ray tracing, gives you a smoother experience. The 16-inch FHD Plus touchscreen is bright and accurate, so you still get those rich colors and decent contrast that make games look good, but the panel is a standard 60 Hz refresh. If you're chasing buttery smooth 120 Hz or higher, you'll notice the difference right away. That said, for gamers who prioritize portability and the ability to jump into a game after a work meeting, the display is more than adequate. Heat and fan noise are where the U chip shows its limits. Because it's designed for efficiency, it doesn't have the massive cooling solutions you find in dedicated gaming rigs. In short gaming sessions, say a 30-minute match of Valorant, the laptop stays relatively cool and the fan hum is barely audible. Push it for an hour or two with a demanding open-world title, and the fans ramp up noticeably. You'll hear a low where that's not distracting, but it's enough to remind you that the chassis is working hard to keep temperatures in check. If you plan on marathon gaming marathons, you might want to keep a cooling pad handy or consider a laptop with a higher TDP processor. Battery life is another practical factor. Dell quotes a decent endurance figure for light use, and you'll see about 78 hours of web browsing or office work on a single charge. As soon as you start gaming, that drops sharply. Expect around 2 hours of continuous play before you need to plug back in. That's typical for laptops in this performance bracket, but it does mean you shouldn't count on the machine to replace a desktop if you're looking for all-day gaming without a power outlet. The keyboard feels solid and is backlit, which is a nice touch for late-night sessions. The 10-key layout gives you a full numeric pad, something you'll appreciate if you do any financial modeling or spreadsheet work alongside gaming. The fingerprint sensor adds a quick, secure way to log in, and the overall layout is comfortable enough for long typing sessions. The trackpad is responsive, but most gamers will prefer an external mouse for precision aiming. Now, who should actually consider buying this Dell? If you're a hybrid user, someone who needs a powerful enough machine for work, can handle multiple heavy apps at once, and wants to game casually without hauling a desktop, that's the sweet spot. The 32 GB of RAM and 1 TB SSD mean you won't be fighting for storage or memory when you have dozens of tabs, a virtual machine, and a game running side by side. The Wi-Fi 6E connectivity ensures low-latency online play, even on congested networks, and the refined, professional design lets you walk into a meeting without looking like you just stepped out of a gaming arena. On the flip side, if you're an esports enthusiast or a gamer who demands ultra-high frame rates on the highest settings, this isn't the machine for you. The i7-1355U, while capable, can't match a dedicated desktop i7-13700K or a laptop with an NVIDIA RTX 40 series GPU in raw performance. You'll also feel the limits of a 60 Hz screen when you're used to 144 Hz or higher. And if you need all-day battery life for on-the-road gaming sessions, you'll quickly discover the trade-off between power and endurance. Price is always a conversation point, especially when you compare a laptop to a desktop build. Dell's pricing for this configuration sits in the premium range, roughly what you'd pay for a mid-range gaming desktop with comparable CPU, RAM, and storage. The advantage, of course, is mobility. If you're comfortable buying a desktop and can keep it plugged in, you'll probably squeeze more performance per dollar. But if you need that